Are you a homo? The most important piece of dialogue in Berserk. The power behind these words resonated with me so much and reached that inner homophobia I never knew I had in me, which began my phase of asking every Berserk fan I meet in person if they are a homo. But why are these words so powerful? Let's look into it. First, you have to look at the build-up. Guts wakes up and Griffith comes to Guts and compliments his sword about how big it is. And we all know Guts' sword can also be a metaphor for his dick. Griffith's homosexuality points keep going up by the second. Next is Griffith taking him somewhere quiet for some privacy between them. There goes another homosexual point. Then when they arrive at the spot, he brings up how amazing the view is, already setting up the mood. That's 3 homosexual points. You all heard of the 3 strikes and you're out phrase before. Well, with homosexuality, it's 3 strikes and you're in. You have to be gay. There's no other choice. Which is why the next moment was Griffith telling Guts he wants him. The homosexuality was building up for this entire chapter. Griffith unintentionally locked himself in this homosexual standoff, where he had no choice but to say he wants Guts. Which then brings us to the most powerful words someone has ever told Griffith. Are you a homo? With a worried expression, drenched in sweat, not fully trusting his gay sensor. So Guts goes for it and asks the question, ready to face the consequences, but there were none. Griffith does not answer his question, leaving us the readers with this lingering gay thought throughout the series, which serves as the foundation of Guts and Griffith's relationship. When we see them have a yaoi shower battle, are you homo? When Griffith says does he need a reason each time he puts himself in harm's way for Guts, are you homo? And it's because of that iconic line, it adds this new layer to Guts and Griffith. It's also what sealed the deal even more in Griffith wanting Guts when you look at one interesting detail. Before Guts asks if he's a homo, you can see a panel of Casca hiding behind a tree, with one sweat drop indicating her trust on Griffith's homo tendencies. She trusts Griffith, knowing that he puts his dream first and men second. But still, that small possibility of men coming first crosses her mind, indicating the sweat drop. But this is a double-edged sword. Her having full confidence in Griffith like that, putting her trust on him first, is a good trait to have. But also, it's not what Griffith wants, nor what everyone wants. We all want someone who can call us out on stuff, be it our actions or just being gay. And that's where Guts comes in. On their first meeting, he did not bow down to Griffith. Hell, he attacked him. And even when Griffith penetrated him, Guts did not stop. Then upon waking up and when Griffith tells him he wants him, Guts' expressions filled with disgust, confusion, and annoyance towards Griffith's homosexuality. Now, is Guts homophobic during this? A little, but only an acceptable amount of homophobia. Guts is the first person to call him out on his gayness leaking out, making Guts even more valuable to have around as a gay lock of sorts, keeping him in gay check so it doesn't leak out for all his soldiers to see. No one gives Griffith the homophobic look. Every other man falls for Griffith. Even I myself fell for his good looks. Griffith, since he can remember, has always attracted men and women, as shown throughout the entire story, which must have warped Griffith's view on himself, his identity. But Guts was the first one who has openly showed he just treats him as Griffith. Others idolize him, women love him, men are gay for him. Griffith during his first meeting with Guts was probably hoping his looks would carry him at first to try and get Guts to join, but he then hears the most powerful words in Berserk. Are you a homo? It left him stunned. He couldn't even answer. Guts does not fall for him. Instead, he questions him. Are you a homo? This is what made Guts different. Everyone expects Griffith to make the correct choices every time. Everyone sees him as this perfect being. They all view Griffith as this pillar of strength. But who's Griffith's pillar? Who's holding his weight, his troubles, his homosexuality? Guts is. Guts questions him, fights him, speaks his mind, is honest with him. He steers Griffith towards his dreams and reaffirms him. This is the path towards your dreams, isn't it? So I ask every Berserk fan, the next time you see someone who you might think is gay, ask him, are you a homo? It could be you're the yaoi partner he's been looking for. A runner-up that I guess I should mention is this piece of monologue. It's not as important as the are you a homo, but it is right behind it. The monologue I'm talking about is when Guts left the Band of the Hawk and he says, it's alright. It's like stumbling on a rock on the roadside. It's petty, a small thing. The place you want to go is more distant, farther off. So, it's alright. You'll stand up and you'll start walking soon. Now, why is this quote the most important to me? It's because of how wrong it is. Many anime quotes you be hearing be really beautiful that you can just agree on, or maybe you have a badass quote as your favorite. But to me, what makes that quote by Guts so impactful is how wrong Guts is, and what we can learn from it, as that moment was the turning point of Berserk and encapsulates what Berserk is trying to teach us and what it explores. Many look at that quote and go, that didn't age well. But here's the thing, that quote was never supposed to age well. It was always meant to be wrong. Anyone who reads Berserk could clearly tell that Guts was wrong. He wasn't just a small rock on the roadside to Griffith. Anyone could tell this was gonna destroy Griffith, and that was the point of the quote. It's exploring one of the main themes of Berserk, but from a different perspective that hasn't been done before in the story. And I'm talking about the theme of struggle, to keep moving forward no matter what. Guts being the struggler. That quote is coming from Guts' perspective, and here's what I love. Berserk has always painted Guts' mindset to stand back up no matter what comes at you, to keep on fighting, that there's something to be found through that struggle as a positive mindset. Now don't get me wrong, that is a positive mindset to have, and Guts was rewarded for all that struggle he went through by not giving up. But this is the first time where we see that mindset of his, it can't be applied to anyone. We are all different. It's not the answer for everything. Our struggles shape our lives differently, and it can't be compared nor measured, nor shall you compare your hardships and use your perspective on their hardships as well. Guts see hardships as obstacles to endure, to move past, because that is the only way he has survived till now. But others do not always have that same resilience or deal with it in the same manner as Guts, and that's what that monologue represents. Guts failed to consider that his mindset is rather distorted, because Guts himself grew up in an environment where he was alone. He had to pick himself back up. No one else to rely on. No one was helping him. So expecting Griffith to stand up again and keep walking was Guts projecting his own experiences onto Griffith, showing us his mindset. While it can be positive, it can also be wrong. And the lesson to be learned from Guts' wrong quote is that we all need a helping hand from time to time. We don't have to endure that pain by ourselves. Sometimes what seems like just another hardship can be a breaking point for someone else. This idea is shown throughout Berserk, as we see countless characters reach their limits due to different situations. Whether it's Griffith after losing Guts, Casca realizing her dream ended long ago, and guess what? Guts learned from his mistakes. He doesn't project his mindset onto others anymore. He doesn't let anyone else endure that hardship on their own, as we see with Sheer upon losing Flora. She was enduring that pain alone, hiding that pain, making Guts realize she's doing what he did in the past. His mindset is a distorted one. She doesn't have to go through what Guts went through. She isn't alone. Guts can provide what he didn't have as a child, a helping hand, someone to share that burden with, which is why when Shirk let it all out in front of Guts, it was so impactful to me. Guts lending that helping hand to all his bonds in future arcs, it's so impactful and beautiful, and it's why that quote of Guts is one of my favorites and most important because of what it teaches us.